Happy New Year 2021, lest we forget 2020. Someone recently told me that 2020 was a year that they'd like to forget. To me though, forgetting the past increases the risks of recreating earlier errors of our ways. The phrase, lest we forget, is written on many war memorials and epitaphs. It's mentioned in Remembrance Day speeches and plastered on posters, reminding us not to forget the atrocities and sacrifices that have been made before our time. Wikipedia will tell you that the phrase was from a poem by Rudyard Kipling. Recessional was a work he published before Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee in 1897. The poem expressed both pride in the British Empire and sadness that it was doomed to fade away. The idea that forgetting the past is unwise has roots much further back in time, and many scholars up through history have reminded us that rather than forget our trials and tribulations, we should learn from them and teach the generations that follow ours. 2020 again shows us that we have an opportunity to learn from our challenges, and it's also an unfortunate example of how easily we seem to forget our learnings when crisis comes calling. To me, at least, it was disappointing that many companies rushed out and shouted from the hilltops that everything was changing, they were adapting, and they were finding new ways to work. It's disappointing to me because it's really hard to find a press release that says a company was prepared for a pandemic, activated an existing plan, and would adapt to the current situation as more knowledge and facts became available. That's only a small disappointment though, and the many acts of kindness that 2020 brought us were uplifting and heartwarming. In his book, The Martian, Andy Weir's protagonist Mark Watney says, "Every human being has a basic instinct to help each other out. If a hiker gets lost in the mountains, people will coordinate a search. If a train crashes, people will line up to give blood. If an earthquake levels a city, people all over the world will send emergency supplies. This is so fundamentally human that it's found in every culture without exception. Yes, there are assholes who just don't care, but they're massively outnumbered by the people who do. We've seen this in abundance, from scientists working at breakneck speed to produce effective vaccines, to local grassroots groups like the many volunteers at conquercovid19.ca organizing PPE and fundraising drives to help healthcare and frontline workers. They even left us their playbook, free to download, so we can be prepared to mobilize movements for other good causes. Two security professionals, Tim Wenzel and Lee Outen, started #TheKindnessGames on LinkedIn, an awesome initiative that I've enjoyed participating in. It has introduced me to many kind and caring people and reinforced my belief in the positive powers of diversity and the goodness of most people that share my profession around the world. For all the obstacles and challenges, 2020 has been a year that left me feeling like the waitress at our favorite local restaurant on Friday the 13th of March. It was our last chance to dine out before a looming lockdown would inevitably close restaurants and put her out of work for a while. "I actually feel fortunate," she said. "This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Think how much we'll learn from being alive at this point in time." I've tried to carry that attitude with me throughout the year. For all the promise 2020 brought, and then took again from us so quickly and so early in the year, 2020 also showed us the power of communicating, collaborating, and contributing toward common goals and common good. That's why, as the year comes to a close, I approach 2021 with optimism. Vaccines are on their way, people want to travel, and we see the light of hope on the horizon. 2020 is not a year to forget. We need to remember, we need to learn, and we need to dare to take on the challenges we pushed to the back burner. The new threat didn't remove or reduce the old ones. Together, we can do that. We can listen to Joe Jacoby and choose possible. And we can listen to the daily mantra from British Columbia's Public Health Officer, Dr. Bonnie Henry. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Did you hear the voices, the ones you thought you knew? The voice that once was friendly, that changed its point of view. Did you hear the voices that wouldn't follow rules, the ones that don't believe in knowledge learned in schools? Did you hear the voices, the choir from far and near, that tried to tear you down and fill your mind with fear? The choir sang ever louder, its songs were everywhere, it sang from every platform, they sang they didn't care. Yet we share a common crisis. We can't just run and hide. We're all people on a planet. There is no great divide. Now can you hear the voices, the ones that say, be kind? Listen to the voices. They'll give you peace of mind. And can you hear the voices, the ones that say, be calm? They will give us strength so we can carry on. And can you hear the voices of the lonely and the waif? Give comfort to those voices. Help them to be safe. I'll change my way of living, make a sacrifice or two, and take the little steps to protect both me and you. 'Cause this is not forever, this time that is our now, and by caring for each other, we'll all get through somehow. Now there's quiet all around me, and I know I see some light. An air of hope is growing. We're going to be all right. Happy New Year 2021. Stay safe and always care.